is.
After our fond hopes of when it would change. So it was just, as far as SmithKline's concerned, a situation of too little, too late.
Too late to save the 100 jobs which will be lost when SmithKline closes its Mississauga plant. 70% of the workforce transferred here from Montreal when SmithKline opened its Mississauga plant just 8 years ago. The majority of those people will be out of a job when production shuts down next March. 1/3 of the company's Canadian product line will be contracted out to other domestic manufacturers. The rest will go to SmithKline's overseas plants. And even with the new legislation, it's unlikely SmithKline will reintroduce a Canadian manufacturing division.
Our scientists may come up with some new blockbuster drug with 2 or 3 years from now, which would change the entire scene. But for the foreseeable future, the answer is no.
In Mississauga, Deborah Walker, TV 11 Newsroom.
If approved, a new City of Hamilton bylaw would force home builders to first install water services on building sites before the houses go up. As Bob Ireland reports, the bylaw would ensure an adequate water supply should there be a fire.
Last spring, a $10 million fire in Markham, Ontario, where more than 100 homes under construction were destroyed, was one of a series of such incidents in the past 18 months where inadequate water supply was considered a major factor. Hamilton Fire Chief Len Saltmarsh says an inspection of construction sites in Hamilton following the Markham fire turned up 3 building sites with inadequate water supply. Today, the city's Planning and Development Committee recommended a bylaw that would require water services in a subdivision within 500 feet of housing construction before a building permit would be issued. Fire Chief Saltmarsh says if passed, the new bylaw would help his department in fighting fires on building sites.
There have been in the past few years in other areas of Ontario some large losses due to fires in new developments, and the potential is there, but this certainly is going to go a long way to assist us.
Ward Campbell, president of the Hamilton and District Home Builders Association, says the new bylaw could cause delays in construction for some builders. He told the committee today he knows of 3 builders right now that would be adversely affected by such a bylaw.
A builder or a developer was to do this subdivision and sell those lots to a number of builders. The way this is worded, it would be possible that a couple of the builders may not be able to put up model homes.
The Home Builders Association and the city agreed that the new bylaw should have a 12-month trial run. At the end of that period, the bylaw would be reviewed to see if it had any appreciable negative impact on Hamilton home builders. At Hamilton City Hall, Bob Ireland, TV 11 Newsroom.
Well, it's time again to recheck the weather forecast and see if maybe, hopefully, heaven forbid, it's getting better. Right?
Yeah, I should run over and...
This has been the worst day of this year.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? I would agree. It's just
dreadful
been
day.
Unrelenting, yes. But it seems to be finally giving up, and that's good news. Tomorrow, cloudy and windy, the high 7 or 44. The outlook for Friday, partly cloudy. Currently, the humidity 100%. Winds are northeast at 35. The barometer is rising. The present temperature, -1. That is 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Dan?
Recapping tonight's top stories, Solicitor General Joan Smith says there will be a judicial inquiry into the Niagara Regional Police Force. Niagara Police Commission Chairman Denise Taylor asked for the inquiry. Education Minister Chris Ward faced demonstrators tonight as he showed up to speak at a workshop in Hamilton tonight. The protesters want Ward to abandon plans to transfer Sir Winston Churchill High School to Catholic jurisdiction. Air Canada ground workers are set to start rotating strikes any time now, but it is unclear which airports will be hit first. The airline says there have been few flight cancellations as a result of the pending action. And our top story tonight, Prime Minister Mulroney and the country's 10 provincial premiers are set now to start a major discussion on the proposed free trade deal between Canada and the U.S. The First Ministers' Conference starts officially in Toronto tomorrow. And that is TV 11 Newsroom, late edition on this soggy Wednesday evening. We are back tomorrow at 5:30. And in watching your sportscast, I counted 77 goals in the games played tonight, with the exception of the 2 games on the coast.
Didn't notice any goaltenders, right?
Yeah, it sure looks like they weren't.
I just
playing.
want to tip my hat. We all should say to Matt, we're glad you're trying to plug up that toilet that's leaking in Ancaster. That is one fine, fine performance.
We're gone. We're back tomorrow. I hope you are too. For Matt, Dick, and all of us at Newsroom, thanks for watching and good night.
Good night.
Stevens is reluctant to predict what it might contain. The former industry minister still denies he broke the government's conflict of interest guidelines. And it's the second anniversary of Quebec Premier Robert Bourassa's election triumph over the Separatist Parti Québécois. Bourassa celebrated with a business-as-usual day at the office. Well, it is time again to check the forecast, most of which is bad. If you didn't happen to catch the forecast earlier, we're in for, what, more of the same?
Well,
basically.
just flurries. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, we could be snowed in. It could be a lot worse. Whoa. That's a pretty scary-looking dew, isn't it?
There is more moose in there than in Algonquin Park.
It's just,
you know
it's
that?
just like, yeah, knock on wood. It's all right there.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Now that's scary. Let's take a look at the forecast one more time. Tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered flurries, the low -4 or 25 Fahrenheit. Looks like I've been sleeping on this all evening. Tomorrow, cloudy with scattered flurries, the high 1 or 34. The outlook for Friday, partly cloudy, scattered flurries. Current humidity 80%, winds are west-southwest, 26 gusting to 35. Our barometer is rising, the present temperature -1. That is 30 on the Fahrenheit scale. Dan?
Recapping our top stories tonight, 6 police forces have broken up a major theft ring operating out of Newmarket. Police say thieves hijacked trucks carrying a total of more than $2 million worth of liquor, furniture, and cigarettes over a 4-month period. Ontario's opposition parties are critical of interim legislation designed to protect the retail workers from being compelled to work Sundays. This after the decision yesterday to dump the Sunday opening issue squarely into the laps of municipalities. The federal government's new daycare policy is already being criticized, even though full details won't be clear until tomorrow. But information which is leaked out indicates a 7-year plan worth $5 billion. Health and Welfare Minister Jake Epp would neither confirm nor deny the figure. And our top story, free trade negotiators are continuing to hammer out a final draft of the free trade agreement in Ottawa tonight. Earlier today, Prime Minister Mulroney denied opposition charges that the key points were being renegotiated. And that is TV 11 Newsroom, our late edition for this evening. And I guess only fair to one more time mention the fact that the record is going to be available by mail and in the lobby tomorrow morning.
That's right.
To raise funds for
Jimmy Lomax.
I think we ought
Christmas
to plug it. I think it's a great cause, and we ought to plug it as much as we can.
Yep.
Well, we will.
And if memory serves me, we have.
That's right.
I bought mine last night. But we have to go. The music of the other variety is playing, so we'll see you tomorrow on Early Edition beginning at 5:30. Join us then, won't you? For Matt, Dick, and all of us at Newsroom, I'm Dan McLean. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.
That much. And
Buchanan was also hopeful the Tory government in Ottawa would award the frigate contract soon. He says ports in Halifax and Dartmouth would benefit through spin-off jobs. Yesterday, the Maritime Premier sent a telegram to the Prime Minister. It urges him to award the contract for all 6 frigates to St. John. Another major issue, free trade, was not on the Council's agenda, but was talked about informally. The Premiers feel they should not attempt to arm twist each other into taking a position for or against free trade. So far, Premier Joe Giz is the only one decided on free trade. He is firmly opposed.
Okay, it is time again to recap the weather forecast and find out what is indeed going to be happening tomorrow. And what is happening tomorrow, Matt?
Well, it's not going to be as warm as today, but hey, it's going to be a reasonable day just the same. And let's take a look at the forecast.
You're looking at the wrong spot.
You know what? I don't have a monitor. Somebody shut off my monitor. Oh, it's all messed up. Tomorrow, cloudy with a chance of showers or flurries, the high 5 or 41. The outlook for Friday, mostly cloudy with snow or rain late in the day. I like to let everybody in on this stuff. Current humidity 83%, winds are west-southwest, 30 gusting to 45 kilometers per hour. The barometer is rising in the present temperature, 5, that is 42 Fahrenheit. Dan?
Recapping tonight's top stories, there was a handgun found in the wreckage of a commuter plane that crashed in California Monday, killing all 43 people aboard. Officials believe gunfire caused that tragedy. President Reagan and Soviet leader Gorbachev met one-on-one today discussing human rights, Afghanistan, and the future of arms control. But after the meeting, the two superpower leaders were no closer to agreement on those issues. Property tax reform may be coming to Burlington, and it's a hot issue. This because under a market value reassessment of real estate, some taxes would go down, but others would rise. City Council heard a number of delegations on the question tonight. And our top story, Sports Minister Otto Jelinek has called for a review of how Victoria was selected as Canada's host city for the 1994 Commonwealth Games. Hamilton and Halifax tried foul when the choice was made, prompting first a study and now a review. And that is Late Edition for this evening. Just a quick reminder that we're back tomorrow at 5:30 for First Edition. We hope you can join us for that. Any last minutes?
Yes, Edmonton Oilers have just beaten Winnipeg 2-0. Grant Fuhr 28 saves. Buffalo 6, Chicago 2, just over.
And now we can all go home and go to bed. Okay, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. For Matt, Dick, and all of us at Newsroom, I'm Dan McKline. Good night.
Good night.